know right now, you're on day 3. How are you doing?
Well, because of a combination of factors, I am not doing well at all. No. Let me start to name those factors.
Hold on, this is not shtick either. No, by the way,
you look awful.
This is the moment. Usually, when the camera pops up and Jesse's there, and it's kind of pre-show, we're talking and smiling. Jesse's little red under his eyes, no smile.
Your face is ashen.
Kind of things aren't okay. Yeah. So,
tell
us what's going on.
Me trying to. Okay, let me just start from the beginning here. Number one thing that's wrong is the music of Nickelback. It's playing right now.
Just generally not good.
Yeah. 2, the lack of sleep, because I've been listening to it while I sleep.
Okay, I was going to ask you about that. Do you play it on speakers? Do you have it on headphones? What does Dana do? How is this working?
She the first night.
Please tell me Dana's at a hotel right now. I would like to know that she's sleeping somewhere else.
Get her out of here for a week.
The first night we did, because I can't sleep with. I was worried about. I tried to do the earbud thing, but I keep rolling around, and it just wasn't a good thing happening. So I decided it had to be audible in the room. Last 2 nights I've been in the guest room and probably be here for the rest of the week.
Absolutely.
Which is completely understandable.
Sweet Dana does not have to go through this junk.
No.
She never asked for this life.
No.
She did not. She just married you.
What has gone crazy, though, is a couple of weird international sites picked this up earlier in the week. Then MTV.com picked it up. Right. And then this morning I wake up and Time listened to the show, and Time is talking about it. And now it's going crazy.
Time actually listened to the show. Yeah. They had quotes from the show. Within show.
Does that make you feel a little less good about Time Magazine as a news source?
Somebody had time to listen to the relevant podcast.
I'm going to sit next to someone on an airplane, and they're going to be like, I work for Time Magazine. And I think this person is extremely sophisticated, big demands on his time, kind of a big deal. Sometimes you listen to the relevant podcast.
And write a news blurb about it.
Yeah.
And now we're getting inundated. And Jesse, I want to know the latest media interview requests. You are Mr. Drive Time. We're seeing on the Twitter feed people all over the country saying that their radio stations are talking about it. There are TV stations that you're the top of the news for the noon news. You're in the scroll. I mean,
there was a local news channel. Someone sent me a screenshot that just played the YouTube video from the podcast on the local news.
What?
How
Jesse,
slow is the news day out there that this is happening?
When I was searching for slices today, I ran across you.
Yeah. I'm like, too, this is times.
Yeah, this is really weird.
I can't tell you, for one, I don't want to sound like a jerk and be like, I can't believe this happened. Obviously, this is best case scenario. It was just I was totally unprepared for it. I thought maximum. This thing is going to raise, if we're lucky, $5,000. It raised that within 3 days of it launching.
It wasn't even
a half ago.
Getting started, and it was at 5,000.
On last week's podcast, we were at 7, and now we're at 19. Yeah. So a week later. Yeah.
And so what the last 24 hours have looked like have been really crazy. So I've been doing the Nickelback thing. I haven't cheated one time. I mean, right now,
nobody.
Can you guys hear this?
Unfortunately, yes.
we can.
Okay, so
what song is
I have it playing at whatever the loudest decibel volume that the situation will allow. So we got hit with a snowstorm. I shoveled the whole driveway for 3 hours with the loop going.
I would think that would energize you.
You would think you wouldn't think it would suck the very life out of you. But I'm discovering a lot of things about myself this week. But anyway, so last 24 hours, I see it get picked up, and I get a couple interview requests from random websites that are asking me for quotes and stuff. Yeah. And so I obliged, and I've tried to make each interview, I tried to just ramp up and say, make them each more and more ridiculous.
Right.
And just, I want to keep this entertaining, tongue-in-cheek, and fun, and get people to donate. That's all I really care about. Right. I do not care about anything else. So I just want it to be hilarious. But I'm running out of jokes here. So what happened was, last night MTV picked it up. This morning Time picked it up.
Yeah.
And I have at this point right now, I have 7 morning radio interviews scheduled for tomorrow.
The news.
2 for this afternoon. And I will be on CBC, which I guess is the Canadian Broadcasting Network, their Sunday morning show on the final day.
Because Nickelback's Canadian.
If you survive.
Yes.
Well, I would say about half of the interview requests that I have scheduled are Canadian, and I'm worried about the tone and the hostility I'm going to face because one of them said, "Listen, we're in Nickelback's hometown."
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah, but you know what?
I think
Jesse?
Canadians are in on the joke.
I do, but also there is nobody better to explain the joke than you, because there has been a little bit of pushback from
Nickelback's wife.
Nickelback's
And the drummer.
wife and drummer were really
The guitarist. Not Chad's wife.
Right, the guitarist's
The
wife.
guitarist's wife.
They were not getting the joke. But Jesse, we talked about this a little bit. And I think you've first of all, you could listen to any music for 7 days and go crazy. It could be Beethoven, it could be the Beatles. You're not designed to have 7 days worth of music. But also, like, this isn't totally making fun of them in your mind, is it? Or how's this joke work out to you?
Yeah, well, I mean, the way I've kind of come into it, like, we didn't conceive of this. Someone sent it to us. And I think the reason that it was funny is because Nickelback occupies a very unique place in popular culture where they're arguably the biggest band of their generation. They've sold 50 million albums. No foreign act has sold more than them in the United States other than the Beatles. So they're literally at the top of their game.
Wow.
But they
were at the top of their game. I mean...
Well, I mean, they're on a world tour right now that has been selling pretty well. I've been getting a lot of Nickelback news updates.
I know it's selling. Here, hey, so
No Known Address a tour.
So
right?
Speaking of their tour, August 27th, they're in Virginia Beach, and since we crossed 10,000, I had to buy me and Jesse 2 tickets to go.
I saw that.
2 tickets to Nickelback, bad seats. It's in an amphitheater. We are 2 rows from the back. We're not in the grass seating. We're the second.
Right.
It was $120 for 2 seats.
Holy smokes!
Oh
my gosh!
Coming into this, and this isn't like an excuse, and I didn't want to position anything mean spirited, but coming into it, I know that they are more successful at making music than anything I or 99% of people on Earth are going to be at their jobs.
Do you hear that he's
totally objectively?
He's just talking fast and loud. Like, you are so out of your head right now.
Let me just finish here.
I'm sorry.
Because
I love you.
The song that just came off my playlist, I swear, is called A Million Miles an Hour. It's by Nickelback. It's off the No Fixed Address CD. It's the opening track. I've memorized the listings.
I'm sorry.
But all that to say is, they are, by most objective standards, pretty loathed by fans that don't like Nickelback. So they're really polarizing.
Right.
And just like ABBA of the 70s, like the biggest band in the world, also has these people that crush their CDs at baseball games. So it just seemed like that absurdity would be a really funny joke.
Right.
And I tried not to, and look, honestly, totally seriously, I don't love the music of Nickelback, but I don't love it or less than other bands in their genre.
Like
it's just the
Creed.
joke works better with them.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then I tried to I made a really conscious effort that everything I say could not possibly be taken seriously. Like, I tried to have the tongue so deep into my cheek when I say that I have medics standing by monitoring my vital signs, or that I'll get sucked into a tesseract from listening to their music, or that I've had to retain lawyers because listening to more than 4 Nickelback songs in a row is illegal. That I'm physically manifesting signs that I'm in the band, like the tips of my hair are frosting. Like, if anyone could take this seriously, and that I'm not like aware of that I'm making fun of a pop culture stereotype and not the band. I mean, obviously they have to have a bit of self-awareness to get the joke, but I would hope that they have that. Yeah. And they've done like a Funny or Die video basically making the same sorts of jokes.
He has been saving this up for a while.
Yeah.
I thought, and again, because I'm not out, look, man, I don't, even though they're super successful.
This is amazing. Just keep going, buddy. This is your time.
Here's the analogy I told Eddie. I'm like, look, you know when the big thing was Chuck Norris jokes? Yeah. And everyone making like how awesome Chuck Norris is. Those people making those jokes didn't actually think Chuck Norris was that awesome, that he was capable of like curing cancer with his tears. But the joke was on a pop culture stereotype and made it funny. It's like, I don't actually think Nickelback is so terrible that my body's going to be donated to the American Psychological Association, like I tweeted, for research and evaluation. I'm making fun of a stereotype. And that's why it's funny.
Does Jesse know we're still here?
I'm losing it, guys. I'm in deep right now. Anyway, Nickelback, if you're listening, I hope you're good sports about this. I mean, nothing malicious and nothing but the continued success. Thank you for allowing us to make a joke at the expense of a stereotype that follows your band, whether rightly or wrongly. But that's the reality. Sorry. Wow. Keep giving money to charity water.
Okay, Jesse, I got to ask this. Okay, you got your defensiveness out of the way. I know that Nickelback kind of amped you up. You've done something I don't know that even Nickelback has done, and listened to their entire catalog in order.
I couldn't listen to babies giggling for 7 days. I could not.
Are you observing anything? Have you broken through the matrix? Is there anything that stands out to you in this?
I've honestly thought several times about the essay I'm going to write in Requiem.
Oh yeah,
in Requiem.
Because I have a lot of thoughts about their music, actually, if you want me to give a few.
Yeah, I need a couple, yeah.
So, their first album is, by most objective standards, pretty terrible. And it mainly has to do with the production quality. Like, it's just really bad, you know?
Was it like, were they like an indie band?
It was like Creed demos meets like Nirvana.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Grungy, but also with that sort of like
they
greedy.
Just didn't know, they didn't know who they were.
They're trying to figure it out.
Right.
Albums like 2 through 4, like they were kind of finding their footing, and were still they have like a lot of sleazy songs in there, like sleazy misogynistic bar rock. You know, like there's a scene. Have you guys seen Spinal Tap?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know the scene where they go to the record executive, and the record executive's like, "You can't do this. It's sexist." And they're like, "What's wrong with being sexy? The whole idea is being sexy." And they don't know the difference between sexist and sexy.
Yeah.
Nickelback was in that rut for a couple hours.
Okay.
The last 2, honestly, and this is totally, because I've listened to this a lot in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Jack Kroger cracked the code, and he's just been churning out hits. Say what you will about Nickelback, the guy's honestly probably a pop music genius, because he's just replicating something that's working, and he's reinventing it for the last 2 albums. And they got a lot of it. Flow Rida is on this last album, guys. I don't know if you know that.
Didn't.
Flow Rida has a verse. They have a song where it's like blurred lines. Like you hear like kind of like that little jangly guitar, and like people going "Hey" in the background. The guys figured it out.
So do you kind of find yourself, when you're in the middle of it, like kind of looking forward to the last 2 albums?
Oh, absolutely. No question. Because like I said, even if you don't like it, which it's just a taste thing at that point, you know? You can appreciate what the dude's doing, especially when you listen to that first album. You're like, that guy is making this, because this, I know, is going to be a top 40 hit somewhere in the world, and it probably is.
Hey, a real talk here between bros. I have known you for a while, and we have talked for hundreds of hours. I think you are going crazy.
Yeah, because I think some Stockholm syndrome is kicking in right now.
It's not Stockholm syndrome. I've never thought more clearly.
I've never been more alive.
If we were neighbors, I would come over like with soup.
Yeah.
Take your wife out for a nice lunch. Like, I'm a little concerned.
I have 7 or 8 radio interviews, and I'm worried what I'm going to say. I feel like I've lost touch with reality just a hair.
Yeah. There's going to be a moment. Where we are doing a lot of backpedaling.
This story is going to turn into a real different story.
A special podcast this week.
Look at his face.
And when the morning TV segment rolls around on Sunday, who knows?
Wow.
I'm picturing my face will be painted like Lord of the Flies.
Oh.
There will be an open bonfire in the middle of my living room. Just Nickelback blaring.